Hi, I'm Marky.
And I'm Andrew.
And this is the Happy Everly After podcast.
Okay, hi, and welcome to the Happy Everly After podcast. My name is Marky, and I am doing a solo hosting sesh today. We are going to keep right on track with the last episode that was released talking about how I was going to try ketamine and why I decided to do it and kind of just document that series. I'm coming off of quite a frustrating thing. When you guys hear this, it will be, a couple weeks out, but what happened right now, if you guys remember, I did an episode a couple episodes back called Are You Still LDS? I have a part 1 and then I have a part 2. And the part 2, I came on here, I was really authentic. I went through all of your guys' questions and it just felt really raw and really real. And I was very proud of it. And I'm devastated to report that the audio didn't save. So thank goodness I videotaped these for the YouTube channel, but my amazing producer, Rachel, she dubs the microphone voice over top of the video so that the audio is good and clear. So much work goes into podcasting, y'all. Like, thank goodness for her, because I would be lost. So I'm frustrated because I just really came down here to record the part 2 again, RULDS part 2. And you guys, I can't do it. It's my mindset is different. Maybe that's because of ketamine. I don't know. But I just rather freaking cut off my toe. Truly take a toe. I don't even need it. It's fine. Then sit down and re-record that and try to make it sound like the first time I recorded it. So again, the audio's there, but it's just really like terrible quality, and I just wanted to apologize for that. I don't know what happened. We have like 55 episodes or something now, and that's never happened. That's the first time that's happened. So with that said, not to be like, oh, I'm horrible and terrible, but it probably was a me thing. It was probably my fault. So it's, again, I feel bad and I'm sorry. And thank you if you hung on and you listened to it with that terrible quality. I appreciate you so much. And I'm just so sorry. Like, I just feel bad. I was telling Rachel that it's just half-assed like work, but at the same time, like I said, it was so authentic and real the first time I recorded it that I would feel fake doing it again. Okay, let's talk about ketamine. Okay, so ketamine is something that I've been interested in doing for a long time. I might be a little woo-woo-y. You can call me woo-woo-y. That's fine. Sure. Like, if I can like stick a crystal in my bra and it like helps me and my mood, like, sure, give me a crystal and I'll stick it in there. Like, that's cool. I don't know much about it, but I think that world is amazing and beautiful, and it's pure. Like, I feel like it's so pure. And don't get me wrong, I love technology. I love modern medicine. All of that is very important, but there's something about the woo-woo-y stuff that intrigues me, because I'm like, why are they banned? And why, like, I've been doing so much research on like, why did the government ban these drugs when they were, helping people with depression or like, whatever. And let me tell you, we're not getting into that right now. No, thank you. There's plenty of podcasts on that. Go Google ketamine information. And I talked about this in the ketamine part 1, which you probably heard last week. I was prepping to go and have my first ketamine treatment. So I'll tell you, The reason why I was interested in doing ketamine is because I do have chronic depression. I don't have chronic anxiety necessarily. I'm not like a worrier. My anxiety comes from like piles in my house. And I have random OCDs that if I have like a pile in my house that is bugging me and that I'm looking at it all the time, I'm just like, you freaking suck as a person, because that's been sitting there for a solid month and you haven't taken care of that one pile. And I have to be really careful with how I talk to myself, because there's only so many hours of the day, right? So things like that, I would say that's like my anxiety. But my main issue is chronic depression, which depression does run in my family. I won't go too much into that, but it does. And it's something that I've always been very watchful about. I've always made sure I keep on top of it. And something about me, I wrote in a blog actually about talking about Everly a couple years ago, where I said I'm naturally a very happy person. Like, I love life. I'm happy and bubbly. I can find joy in pretty much freaking anything. And even when things are really, really bad, I still like to laugh. I love dark humor. I love poking fun of myself. Like, don't take life too seriously. Things are hard. Yes, high fives. I get it. But me and my personality, like, I've always been the person to just like freaking, this sucks, but we're going to moonwalk out of this room, like Schmidt on New Girl. No, not Schmidt. That's Nick. Anyways, okay. So, going back to ketamine, I wanted to do it because I've been on antidepressants for, I went on it after I had postpartum with Urban, and Urban is like 8.5 years old. So it's probably been 8 years I've been on them. And I've kind of just been okay with being on them. Like, they're fine. They make my lows not so low. They keep me right above that muck to where I can be my true self. Like, literally when I started taking them, I was like, OMG, like, is this how I'm supposed to feel? Like, this is amazing. And so I'm like, I'll stay on these forever. High fives. And I will. I'm still on them. Zero negative things to say about medication if you find a medication that works for you. I'm well aware that there's a chemical in my brain that causes me to feel sadness and depression, even if I'm freaking at Disneyland, the happiest place on earth, and I'm just like eating the best food and I'm with my family and we're so happy. We as in, they're all so happy, but for some reason I feel this sadness in me. And I'm like, why do I feel sad? I have every single thing I could ever want. And you listening, you're probably like, well, you've lost a daughter, so like you can feel sad about that. Yes, thank you. I'm aware. I feel it. I feel all the sadness. I feel joy and pain at the same time, if you haven't heard that from every episode of this podcast. But depression, you guys, is such a deep, lonely state. And it's hard because it's like, all you have to do is send that text to whether it's your husband or your partner or your friend down the street and say, hey, I'm really struggling. Can you take my kids for an hour while I take a bath or a shower? Which I did that last year. Drew was out of town. I texted my neighbor and said, I need help. There's also been times where I have called my sister-in-law crying and I just said, please tell me you're home. Can I drop my boys off? I did. I dropped my children off. My depression gets so bad. And again, it's just a feeling. Sometimes it's not tied to anything. And if it is, I haven't figured that out yet. So I'll get back to that in a minute. So, well aware I have depression. It is a thing. My family knows about it. Drew knows about it. My boys are so patient with me. Sometimes, literally, Urban will be like, Mom, do you need a rest? And I'll be like, I do need a rest. And also, I'm sorry that you even have to ask me if I need a rest, because I wish I just had all the energy to give you. So it's just hard. And again, my real self is this happy, bubbly personality, center of attention, no filter, not scared of anything type person. But then I'm also, as much as I'm that, sometimes I am introverted, turn off my phone, lay in bed, play Friends for 5 days straight. I didn't shower for 3 days. Don't come near me. Maybe I can brush my teeth today. And all of those things I just said are very, very real. And I have those days. And I just want to be better, you know? I have been through some trauma in my life. I'm not going to talk about those here. But certain things that I have been through, I am well aware in speaking with my therapist through the years, and I'm now working with a psychiatrist that has diagnosed me with certain things in my cute little brain, that I know some of my traumas are associated with. So some of those things I keep in a cute little box, and I just lock the key and I set them on the shelf, and I'm totally okay with that. I had a therapist tell me, that's okay. If you're not ready to delve into those, you're good. We're just here to help you. So like, if you're okay with that box being on the shelf, then that's fine. We're going to open it when you're ready to, and if you need to. Low-key, I probably need to, right? So anyways, I decided to finally try ketamine. A couple of podcasts that I listened to, I addressed them in the last episode, Weekly Trash with Josie Van Dyke, and then Maddie Murphy with The Bad Broadcast. They went to this place called Anew Therapy, ANEW. And basically it's just like a warm blanket. You go in, and I took my Lola blanket that I freaking love that blanket. I make everybody feel it every single time. Lola blankets, you want to sponsor this episode, you totes can. I do have a code. I'll give it to you. Anyways, so you go in this room, and I went in with zero expectations, but also knowing that the ketamine drug is known to help people who have chronic depression and PTSD. I suffered some PTSD symptoms for a couple years after Everly died. Those have kind of cleared up. I can now handle them. I was just barely at a Just Ingredients party. And one thing nobody would even know in the room is that a cell phone went off, and it's just terrible. It's the old ringtone for the old iPhones, and it's like you know that one? And that ringtone, hearing it out and about, or if it's on a show or something like that, that ringtone used to send me spiraling into my closet with it where I like can't breathe, for like panic attacks, having to feel my fingers, pinch my fingers. Like I would have to like make sure I was like still here and alive, and my body was doing what it needed to do, and it needed to be breathing. That happened. Anyways, that happened at the Just Ingredients party a couple weeks ago I went to, and I hear it and it affects me, but it doesn't cause me to leave the room throwing up, not breathing. So I've come a long way with that. Back to ketamine. So I went to Anew Therapy. They're so great. They really are. I'm not even just saying that. They just make you feel so loved and just nurtured, and like you're in this safe place, and we want to help you. And I know that you want to help yourself. Like they are just so reassuring, and they're so proud of you for being there. So I was telling Drew that even when I had ketamine in my system and I was having like this cinematic like experience, okay, I'll get into that in a minute. But I was still there. I was like, I'm still here. I can wiggle my fingers. I'm still here. I can wiggle my toes. Not that they say you can't, like you can move. That's what I'm saying. But my brain could press the button if I like needed somebody to come in the room. And again, they're monitoring you the whole time. I was set up with like monitors. They were checking my vitals and stuff, making sure I was good. And even though I had like this face mask on, which sounds scary, but it's not, because everybody has a different experience. So my experience, like I said, I went into it knowing I didn't want any expectations. I didn't want a sign from God necessarily. I didn't want a spiritual experience necessarily. I wanted to go in there knowing that I've been on a low. I've been kind of depressed lately, and that this medicine has really, really helped people with their depression. So I went in there knowing that even though I'm seeing whatever the type of shit I'm seeing in my cinematic eyeballs, that my brain was getting medicine, and those neural pathways that have been cut off or broken off or whatever you call it during certain traumas or certain times in my life, my brain was doing the work to heal through this medicine. And even though I'm like in this state, my cognitive brain still could tell that. I could still say, I would kind of like recenter myself and be like, remember why you're here. You're here because you want to heal your brain. You want to find out what the root cause of your depression is, and you're here to be a better person. And that I just kept reminding myself of that every once in a while. It never got dark. It never got scary. Some people do have those experiences. I don't think that that's like as common unless you take like way too much, which again, they're monitoring you, and the dosages that they give you are based off of your body weight. So, I haven't had anything like that, or I didn't have anything like that my first time. I was even like open to that. Like, I didn't know if it was going to like bring up old memories or old wounds or whatever. Oh, there's a fly in here. So again, I was even open to that. I'm like, even if my brain brings up something like really dark that is scary and people don't want to deal with that, like that means that I need to do work on that. So like, I'm okay with whatever this medicine brings to the surface. Again, none of that happened. Do you want me to explain to you what was going on in my freaking like eyeballs? I can't even explain it, because again, I could lift up my mask and look, and I was still in the room that I was in. Okay, I'm still here. I'm still good. There's the button if I need anybody. I would put the mask back down, and you can just kind of see, for me, I could just see pictures in my mind, and it never stopped. The pictures constantly moved. It was almost like just a cinematic experience. Oh, I played music. They recommended a couple playlists. I chose a playlist. So if you've ever been on edibles, or just, I don't know. But if you've ever been in a different state and you listen to music and you're like, dang, the percussion in this is awesome. Dang, the harmonies in this is awesome. Dang, the violin comes in. If you understand what I'm saying, the music kind of took me on this journey. And that was beautiful too. Like they made this playlist beautiful. And so I felt so warm, so cozy, so at peace. I felt one with the earth. Oh, and I forgot to tell you guys this. The whole time that this was going on, I literally would start giggling, and I recorded myself, so I'll try to find it, but I would start giggling because in my brain I was thinking, oh, Drew would hate this. Oh, Drew would hate this. I kept thinking that. And then I would start laughing like, oh man, like Drew would freaking lose his mind if he ever experienced this, because he's not as open to woo-woo stuff as I am. He's not open to it, but you get what I'm saying. So anyways, I guess like I wrote in my journal after everything was done the word texture, because I experienced so many textures. Like, and I wasn't like reaching out and touching stuff. No, like it was all just a picture in my mind, but I was in the picture. So like one of the things I distinctly remember at the beginning was feeling like I was in like New York City, and I was like kind of like laying on a sidewalk and looking up, and it was kind of a fisheye lens. This sounds so crazy. A fisheye lens, but above me are these tall buildings, and then a sky. Like I could see a beautiful sky, and then it was like the sun, and then clouds, and then stars, and then again it was constantly moving. Is this freaking Looney Tunes or what? So again, while this is happening, I'm thinking in my cognitive brain, wow, this right now is healing my brain. This right here is healing my brain. I'm going to just let it happen. I'm not going to fight anything. I'm going with it. And this is really cool. Like, this is really, really cool. And then they would come in and check on you every like half hour. They'd say, hey, you hit your half hour mark. And I would say, and I was able to talk to them and be like, hi, yeah, I'm doing good. Like I was so there. Like I was still so aware of me and where I was. But just watching this really cool, like, movie in my eyes. Like it was really cool. Another thing I remember is I would compare it to like, so I said the word textures. So I thought of like Black Panther and his uniform and how it was black and just like spotted here and like almost like Legos and just like firm there and squares there and circles there and just like so many textures as I'm just like in this universe of Black Panther looking textures. I was never scared of the Black Panther textures. I wasn't scared. It was rad. Like I was like, this is so cool. Like what the freak? Because again, in my cognitive brain, I was like, holy balls, you are tripping. Like this is nuts. And just like, I've never done anything like that before. I've never done shrooms or like anything like that. So I wouldn't even know what to like compare it to. But yeah, so I got the Black Panther stuff and then just the fisheye stuff, a little bit of the forest trees. Again, I feel like I'm still like kind of on my back and like looking up at everything as it's moving around me. But yeah, that's the gist of it. Nothing profound. I didn't like meet God or like Mother Earth or anything, like nothing like that. I just literally sat there, had my warm Lola blanket on me, snuggled, hung out, smiled and giggled, laughing that Drew would freak his balls off if he experienced any of this, and just sat there and enjoyed the ride. It was great. I did want a cheeseburger after because they make you fast for 4 hours before your treatment. Also, they give you a Zofran. And Zofran is the anti-nausea medication because sometimes the medication can make you woozy. I didn't throw up or anything. I could see how it could make you feel woozy because of all the motion. That's what I compare it to. It's just like, ugh, like, yeah, like I just feel like I've been on a boat for a week, like that type of thing. But it wasn't like my stomach hurts, I have to barf right this second. And so maybe other people experience that different. I don't know. But that's what my experience was with this first time and this first dose, obviously. What else? I did. So Drew brought me in and out. So I ate that after and it was great. The lady at the desk was like, I bet you because she didn't think that I would want my cheeseburger after. And I did. And she was like, you probably won't want it next time. And I was like, why? And she was like, because the first dose is always, like the first time you do it, they're very, very minimal with their dosage. So the second time you go, they might up it a little bit and just see how you do and see how you feel. Another thing is you can arrange to have a therapist in the room with you. You can have a buddy in there with you. Like if you're nervous and you want to take your partner or a best friend or something, they're welcome to sit in there with you. I like doing stuff like that on my own. I'm kind of just independent like that and just want to submerge myself into the experience. I don't know if having Drew in the room, I would like be worried, like what was he thinking? What was he doing? Like I don't want to worry about anybody sitting there watching me. Like I just want to just be by myself, know I'm okay, know I have that call button if I need it. So all in all, it was a very interesting experience. I'm excited for my next appointment. I still need to book it. I wanted to see how that first appointment went before I booked anything else. But I am going to book it. And on top of that, they remind you that this is just a tool for your mental health. So it's not just like a cure-all, fix-all, here's some medicine, trip balls for a minute and then you're perfect. No, like this will go hand in hand with therapy. They do have therapists there that they can recommend to you, and those therapists are really involved with them. They can sit in the room with you or whatever. But I think I'm just going to go toggle between my regular psychiatrist and my ketamine treatments. They recommend doing 6 treatments. Number 1 is checked off the list, and you can kind of pick and choose like how fast or slow you want to do them. Just like for price wise, I'll probably do them like once a week ish, I don't want to stress too much about it, but just go like once a week or so. And then again, have like meetings with my psychiatrist during that time as well. So I don't know if I'm forgetting something. There's a lot in my brain that I can't put into words. I just can't. I would try to put it into words and it wouldn't work. So, you just have to experience it. Like that's all I can say. But all in all, it was really, really cool experience. I felt really safe the whole time. I never felt dark or scared. It was just like the comfiest, coziest movie with the coolest graphics I've ever seen. That's about sums it up. So anyways, let me know if you have any questions. I'll probably do a part 3 and let you know how the next treatment goes. But I'm really, again, I have 0 expectations, but I'm hopeful that this is going to really help me with my mental health, especially going into the fall and winter. As much as I love the fall and I do love the winter, I love Halloween, I love the holidays, like I love it all. My seasonal depression kicks my trash. And so I really just like want to get on top of it and make sure I'm using every tool that I have access to right now. So thank you again for listening to the Happy Everly After podcast. I would love it if you would subscribe to this. I get paid money if you guys like actually download these episodes, not just listen to them. Automatic downloads happen if you're subscribed. I don't know if you know that, but if you're subscribed to the Happy Everly After podcast and it automatically downloads every time there's a new episode, that would just be so helpful to us. And we just appreciate you so much and love you. And thank you for always supporting me and us and all my cuckoo wooey ideas. So anyways, have a great day. I love you and I'll talk to you later. Bye.